Have a look at this wonderful, proud Muslim man bowing to a British woman sitting in a skirt. And he's literally worshipping her.
I'm all right, mate.
So you don't want to fuck?
No, thanks. I've got a boyfriend.
Only less than 100 years ago, this country was conquering the entire continent of Europe. And look at this. They can't handle one illegal migrant with a knife. All right, folks, this is Harris Sultan. As Keir Starmer will keep telling you that Britain is proud of its multiculturalism and diversity. Diversity is our strength. As he keeps sounding like a broken record, I have to keep showing you how diversity is not working out, how multiculturalism is playing out in the streets of Europe. The videos that I'm about to show you have just come out in the last 3 or 4 days or so, okay? Have a look at this wonderful, proud Muslim man bowing to a British woman sitting in a skirt. And he's literally worshipping her because, as I have said many times in my videos before, these guys have never seen a woman outside of bin bags. The only woman's face that they have seen is that of their mother or their sister. And that's why we have high sexual assault rates in the Muslim world towards their own close family members. So Muslims love to tell you that, oh, we don't have enough rapes. No. First of all, their data is suppressed. And secondly, there is a lot of sexual assault towards their own family members. It's happening all the time. 82% of rape victims in Pakistan were their close family members.
In Pakistan, from gynecology, they asked the girls who did the rape. 82% of perpetrators are fathers, uncles, grandfathers, father, chacha, taaya, dada, nana, mamu, fupa, brother. When a girl comes to gynecology, the mother brings her. It is not that she would go to the police because my daughter is nearby. She says no. My husband has seen it, so I cannot leave my husband. So what she does is she hushes it up and then says, my father is there.
And look at this. This guy has come from a highly sexually suppressive culture, and he's been released into a liberal Western country, and he comes out. The only females that he's spoken to up until this point are his close family members or women behind bin bags or goats. That's it. And have a look what he's doing.
Oh, fucking Saturday morning. I can't. What's happening?
This is not normal behavior. And these women are laughing at it because, you know, they're like, oh, wow, are you going to worship me? But if a white man had done it, and rightfully so, this woman would have taken it as a case of sexual harassment. But that just tells you how different cultures behave differently. This behavior is alien and foreign, but you are told that you have to accept it. They may not explicitly say that you have to accept this behavior, but this is what they keep telling you, that you have to accept, be tolerant towards other cultures. That's what they mean by that. Let me show you another video. This woman looks terrified. And look at this guy. Look how close he is to her. And she's obviously trying to get away from him. Have a listen.
Pardon?
You never fuck a drunk girl. I want to fuck you.
Nah, I'm all right.
Why are you doing this?
I'm all right.
Nice.
I'm all right, mate.
So you don't want to fuck?
No, thanks. I've got a boyfriend.
She turned the camera on because this is her only defense. This is the only thing that is going to save her if something untoward happens to her. This is probably going to save her. In her mind, that's what she thinks. Well, of course, you know, if he takes it one level up, then he might even delete the footage. But luckily, he didn't. This behavior, this view towards women, what does it manifest into? This is what it manifests into. Another Afghan, this guy, charged with sex crimes against British children, child children. Sabjan Burkazi, an Afghan, stalked a young girl before trying to force her into his home. Today, he pleaded guilty to several charges in court. He followed her for months. Imagine that. Imagine you're that girl. Imagine she's your daughter. And imagine how many times they would have reported it to the police. But the British police can't do anything because they have made laws for Western people. Usually, a Westerner, a pedophile, will be attacked by his own community. You know how white people behave towards known pedophile. There's a sex register, and anytime a pedophile moves into a neighborhood, the local neighborhood erupts into rage and they say, kick him out, etc. But all of those dynamics have changed now because you have released these foreign people who are proud pedophiles. This is a culture that celebrates pedophilia. White culture doesn't celebrate pedophilia. I remember the time when people used to boast about, oh, he's a pedophile, he's going to get bummed in prison. Now that doesn't happen anymore. Why? Because according to Roshan M. Saleh, who proudly boasted that British prisons are governed by Muslims, and Muslims have a totally different view towards pedophilia. That explains the grooming gangs and the rape gangs, and of course, this behavior. He followed her for months, often walking up to her to ask for her number and social media details, a Staffordshire police spokesman said. On 18th of August, he grabbed her in an alleyway in Stoke-on-Trent and tried to pull her in the direction of his home, but she fought him off and he was later arrested. Why was he not arrested before? He's an illegal migrant. What was he doing in the streets of Britain? He shouldn't even be here. But Keir Starmer will tell you this. Offensive and wrong. Britain is a proud, tolerant, and diverse country. That is the diversity that they have sold you, my friends. This is the face of that diversity. Before anyone tells me, oh, but they're not all bad. Of course they're not all bad. We work in percentages. If you bring in a certain culture, out of which 5, 10, 20% of those people are problematic, then you don't need that culture. British girls and women and men, they don't owe their well-being to this diversity that if you bring in 100 Afghans, then only 10 of them are going to hurt you. No, you don't need to bring that. Look at this. Sexual offenses in London by nationality. Who is at the top? Afghanistan. That's out of 10,000 people. So out of 10,000 Afghans, 74 Afghans are going to commit a sexual offense. Afghanistan, Eritrea, Algeria, Somalia, Sudan, Albania. Why? Why do you have to bring these cultures then? They are not compatible. They have their own set of values. Diversity is no longer a virtue that they sold it to you as. Yeah, you got one Hara Sultan, but you got so many Busha Sheikhs, Muhammad Hijabs, Ali Dawars, Narendra Kaurs. You got all kinds of shit in the name of diversity. Diversity is not good. And the only reason why you like Hara Sultan is because Hara Sultan has actually westernized himself. I don't see myself as a Muslim. I don't see myself as a Pakistani. Yeah, ethnically I'm Punjabi, but that's all I am. And look how I'm interpreting these stats and how they will interpret these stats. They will make excuses for these stats. I don't. I'm not done yet. Let me show you more what's happening in the streets of Europe in the name of diversity, okay? This is very important. Look how many resources are being wasted. There is a migrant with a knife somewhere in Germany, and look how many police officers turn up. These police officers should be attending domestic violence calls. They should be doing other stuff. But look how many police officers turn up. Why? Because Angela Merkel decided that, oh, we have to open our borders. We have to let these people in. Look at this woman. This is comical. Only less than 100 years ago, this country was conquering the entire continent of Europe. And look at this. They can't handle one illegal migrant with a knife. Look how scared he was. Look at him. Oh, they got him. Finally, they got him. What did you gain out of that compassion? What are you getting out of that? Okay, that's not it. Let's come back to the UK. Migrant gangs, illegal migrant. It's going to bash a couple of ordinary Brits. No shame. What did you get out of that? Look at that. These migrants. They look Afghans or Pakistanis. I don't know. They could be either of the two. Look at this. Look, he just punched him. Sucker punched him. He just sucker punched him. There's only two of them. Look at that. This is calling for social unrest. How long before you see gangs of white men start patrolling the streets of Britain? This is going to happen. It's going to happen. Look at this. This is Ireland. Oh, poor Irish. No wonder they're so angry. Look at this. Even the migrant children beat the security. And they're destroying everything. Look at that. Look at this. Look at this. Why are you here? You're a Muslim. You're wearing a hijab. Go to a Muslim country. Look at this. They ransacked this migrant hotel. What are you doing here? Why are you bringing these people in? They're clearly ungrateful people. They don't need to be here. if they are escaping war, is that how you behave? If I was escaping war, whichever country took me in, I would be forever grateful for them. I would say, tell me what I need to do to justify my presence in your country. Thank you very much. You don't owe me anything, but thank you for letting me and my children in. Thank you for saving us. That's how I will behave. But these people are not behaving like that. Okay, I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. Look at this. This is Paris, France. Okay, so the whole of Europe is screwed. Someone just filmed a live kidnapping happening in real time. Look at this. Just kidnap someone. There you go. There you go. Just kidnapped him. They don't look French, people. He's going to be found dead somewhere. What did you gain out of that? Europe is a perfect breeding ground for a dictator because I think our democracy can't handle that. Because democracy needs to work together with other factions, with other ends of political spectrum. Democracy requires laws, bills, unanimous support, and our left and right are not talking to each other. The left is completely lost. The only way they can change if we as people vote right, massively right. That's the only reason that will force the left to change their policies. That's a last-ditch effort, by the way. That would be an ultimate test of our democracies. Can we save our civilization through democracy, through peaceful means? That would require enacting some really harsh laws, like remigration. That has to come. It will come. Every person with a criminal record has to be deported to his ancestral country, even though he's born and raised in France, Britain, Germany, whatever. He has to be deported. How do we acquire that? We speak to their ancestral countries and we say, you're going to take them. If you don't take them, we're going to ban all visas for you. There is no other solution. Watch that, because their elite is also corrupt. Their elite is not going to sacrifice their lifestyle. Algerians or Pakistanis, they still want to come to France and Britain. They want to travel. They want to spend their looted money in Europe. So if you want to come to our countries, then you're going to have to take your scum back. So that's just one solution, okay? Start with people with criminal records. We're going to need more laws. We're going to need harsher and harsher laws. Or it's going to end up in a civil war. This just cannot go on. I am starting to see real amount of anger amongst native populations. It is going to erupt at some point. What I just showed you earlier, that group of migrants beating up a couple of British boys, you're going to see skinhead gangs emerge. They wouldn't be skinhead, but eventually that would end up that way. You wanted identity politics, you're going to get it in its worst form.